Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody's gotten this pattern for like a finger joint box with expandable or living hinges type deal in the shape of a heart. A couple of things. They want to change the size of the wood thickness of the whole thing. So might take a couple of videos to do this correctly. First of all, this is not a hairline, so I don't quite understand. I want to make it red, and then I'm going to hit F12 on my keyboard. I want to make it a hairline. That's going to be a cut line, and you'd have to do that to all these things. Now, the problem with changing this shape, it's at an angle, so you just can't draw a rectangle. But what we can do, it would take some time, but it'd be well worth it. I'm going to smart fill that in. I'm going to nudge it up. And then I'm going to left click, right click, and make it black. Well, let's just make it red for right now, like the original. And look to see if it's a hairline, and nope, you're drawing in 2 millimeters, so that's probably the problem. I'm going to go ahead and change that real quick. I'm going to double click on your go, and I'm going to go hairline, and we'll make it black. That's fine. Now what we need to do, we need to find the shape of this or the angle of this. We don't really, a couple ways you could find out the angle, but this to me would be the easiest way to do this. We need to double click on, well, first of all, I'm going to bring down I'm going to double click and put the rotation in that corner. I'm going to bring in an indexing line and have it snap to. I've already turned on your snap to guideline on. And then, because it's a hairline, it's a lot more accurate. So I'm going to double click on it again and got the rotation. I'm going to grab that node right there, and it should have like snap right to it. I'm having a little bit of problem. There we go. So, and also just look to see if that line is going through the middle on both ends, and it is. I must have skewed it a little bit. I'm going to back up here. The rectangle looks like it was skewed. I might have done that. So I'm going to double click on it, have the rotation there, and there we go. And now it's a square. Now we need to find out what this shape is. 2.9 millimeters. I can't remember what he said in an email, but he wanted to cut like 4 millimeters. So what we can do with our ratio unlocked, when you're working with thicknesses of wood, this dimension doesn't matter. It's going to stay the same. It's this dimension, which is the thickness of the wood. So we're going to Control D and make a duplicate of that. And this is one reason I keep my duplicate distance at 0, 0. For this reason. Control D and make a duplicate. I'm going to make the duplicate black. And then with my ratio locked, I'm going to change the thickness to 4. See what it did? It made the thickness only 4. Now, how do we get it in that spot? Well, it will not snap to the center because this one has an X. This one really doesn't have an X because it's probably part of it. So my suggestion, let's go ahead and see if we can ungroup this for a second. There we go. Now we have an X. If you don't ever, I could have done that or use the Smart Fill tool. Now I'm going to have it snap right to the center. Now this is manually doing it, but what I'd do also, I'd make a duplicate of our box because we're going to have to use it multiple times. And I know this is going to be time consuming, but then move this to the center and just rotate that till it's like dead on right there. If you're off just a hair, it's not going to matter. So you've got that one. We actually need to move it out of the way and delete this one and move that back. And once you kind of get the hang of it, and I'd make you as many copies as you're going to need for this. And because this is broken apart now, we have a center, and it found the center of it. That's the crucial point, is making sure it's in the same spot. Move that to the center and just rotate it. And even if it's off just a hair, which that's probably dead on, and you can check it if you want by bringing that line down to that line, and they're pretty much on top of each other. And just do that for the rest of them. Now, what I am doing, and I've got my, when we click on it, I've got my rotation to the center. I need to move it to the center, and then when I make a duplicate, they'll all be in the center. And then just do the exact same thing down there. Click on it, move it to the center. This is the easiest way I know. I really look to kind of like find and replace, and there's really nothing that'll do this. Just remember to make your enough boxes to go all the way around. All right, that's probably the hardest part of this. And then I'm going to show another video on how you could make these two without having to change these tabs, and then to make these a little bit thicker. So stay tuned for part 2. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.